Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you're listening to IdeaDiary. Thanks for coming back to my office and hanging out. I got a text from Gary Vee. So he is one of the only people that I trusted. I don't know if you remember when, I can't remember the name of the company, but the certain company, Community something. So community.com, I believe it is. I think got a lot of high-level people, high-level YouTubers to have this text community. So it's kind of like a group text, but you can only communicate with maybe the person who you're texting. Or say if the person is Gary Vee, he can send out a group text, but that doesn't mean like the whole group can respond to everything. But I guess I could text Gary Vee and he might get it, kind of like a messaging form on a website. So you don't really expect them to actually respond, but there might be like a 1% chance that somebody reads it and gets back to him. And if he thinks it's interesting enough to respond to, he might respond. I'm not too clear on the actual being able to text the person who is sending out the main text, the main group text. But the idea is you're supposed to feel like you can actually text Gary Vee or Logan Paul or whatever those people's names are that are famous on YouTube, the gamut of them. Gary Vee is the only one that I trusted enough to actually sign up for his texting community because honestly just wanted to see how he used it. And not that Gary Vee is hard to find because he puts out 60 pieces of items a day on every platform that he possibly can. So he added this texting community to his list of things that he does every day. And I was interested in checking it out. Mainly, it's just feel-good text. It's not... Gary Vee doesn't really sell anything. He's just, I guess, trying to be inspirational and motivational. He's working on attention. He does everything that he does for attention, not for money, which I think is part of what makes something successful in 2020 in the future. Things change so much, so I don't even know how to gauge how long things are going to be cool. But as of right now, as I said, like the Tom Green video, I think multi-talented DIY entertainment is the future in having that passion of making something, whether or not it makes money. I think that's kind of the big key right now to what makes stuff successful. So I haven't been watching a lot of Gary Vee videos. I can't remember exactly when, maybe a year ago or so when I got into Gary Vee. Can't really remember what the video was that kind of got me hooked. I really like him. There's people who obviously can't please everybody, so there's obviously people that don't like Gary Vee. He does the hustle entrepreneur culture, like go, 24 hours a day, which I personally am not into, but I could see someone's personality loving that, so I won't say that's a bad idea. It's just not a good idea for me. The one thing that he does really focus on is you're never too old. Just everyone thinks that they're really old when they're 30, when they're 40, when they're 60, and he kind of puts it into perspective of you're insane, just do what you want and start now. So I definitely like that about him. But the thing I like most about him is he really focuses on being patient and living on couches, if that's what it takes, and not spending money and working until it happens. So just kind of not giving up sort of thing. Anyways, so I got a text from him, which I normally do, and they're usually like just nice and happy kind of text, like this day is going to be amazing type of things. But yesterday he texted free seminar, conference for the next 2 hours. And I guess it just popped up at that right time. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to check out whatever this video is. And when you click on it, it goes to a YouTube video, which was his latest video. I'm on my phone. looking at it. And the video is called VaynerX Presents Marketing for the Now, episode 14 with Gary Vee. And it was a 2-hour video, and he interviewed someone new every 10 minutes, and he had one of his employees introduce every guest before they came on. And I guess kind of like a producer, all these guests that had their 10 minutes, it was probably very organized. They're on the phone. They're probably listening in on the call until it's their 10-minute slot to speak. And then they push unmute. And Gary starts asking them firing questions. They've got 10 minutes to say something valuable. All the people were supposed to talk about what they're doing with their marketing now. And it was like a Shark Tank dude and a lady who works for Sonic drive-ins. A lot of these people were people with jobs and long careers in marketing, and some of them were like the Shark Tank guy that was just, he's an entrepreneur and he's learning as he goes and he's just making it happen. The main thing that is exciting was that I really liked the format. The format was amazing. It felt like kind of like a news correspondence type of kind of like, this is now, let's get this interview. There's some sort of production behind it. You can tell there's some sort of thing happening, but it's real, it's live. Everything that they were talking about was relevant, whether or not you agreed with them. So some of the people that were talking, I did not agree with them at all, but it was very interesting to kind of see their perspective, and me being a totally different kind of person than they are, kind of knowing they're way off the mark. Not that I know everything or I'm smarter than them. It was like they couldn't really see, they weren't thinking fast enough. They were like kind of like speaking about things that were relevant 12 months ago. And things are going so fast that it's like you've got to be faster than that. You've got to know, you got to be ready to switch gears. As soon as you get that instinct that things are different, what can we do? How can we keep moving forward? Not necessarily by giving up and ditching things that you've started, but figuring out what's important, what can't change, and what can change, and keeping it going. I love the episode. Pretty much all of 2020, I haven't been really watching any of his content. Not that it's boring. I think when you do so much, you are repeating yourself over and over again because maybe you're trying to figure out how to communicate what you want to say the best. That's what I kind of feel like I'm doing. Like I'm repeating stuff over and over again because I'm trying to figure it out in my mind the best way to say it to make sense to people. But also, I think with Gary Vee, he knows that so many people are listening to him and he's teaching so many people. He knows that not only does he have to have it make sense in his mind, he also has to make it make sense in all the different ways that people learn. He gets an idea of what he's thinking at the moment and he's repeating it, trying to like nail it into everyone's brain of what he thinks. And everyone interprets it so differently, I'm sure. It's just very hard what he's doing. Not that I don't love him, not that I'm not interested. I just I guess my attention has been somewhere else and I haven't been watching his stuff. So, but I kind of liked it because it's like, okay, something pulled me back in. It's like he wrangled me back in, and what he was doing was way different than what he was doing in, I don't know, December, November last year. It was like he was on to something new. He was like, he found this new way to have a show, and he was communicating and he was teaching. Part of it was, and maybe it's a conspiracy theory as far as my brain goes, but I feel like he had these like top level executive people on, and these people with 20 long careers working at these big companies, because he wanted to show us that these people aren't really thinking fast. They can't move fast. They can't think fast. And I think overall, it's great to hear someone's opinion that's been doing it for 40 years, 50 years, 20 years, whatever it is. But at the same time, if you can notice, like, they're missing something. If they knew this one thing, I think their opinions would change. And it's, I don't know, kind of inspiring that pretty much everyone's on the same playing field. I remember when it was like a thing to be the social media manager. So that was kind of a new job around 2007 to 2010, I guess. That was the new job, to either talk your company into creating the position for you or talking somebody into the fact that you're an expert on it and you could do the job. But really, no one was an expert at it for a good solid 10 years. And I feel like even then, you couldn't just like know Facebook really well, or know Instagram really well, or know whatever app really well. You had to know it well and be able to evolve and be able to pivot and all the things, which meant you couldn't be an expert because nobody really knew what was all the twists and turns that happen with technology and how people interact with it. But now, 2020, I think we can safely say a lot of people, there are experts out there, and there's a lot of people that know about all the twists and the turns and the shifts, and actually knowing what worked and what failed and what's new and how people hate things and how people like things. I think there is a bulk of expertise and knowledge that you can learn from what has happened in 2020 before. And I feel like 2021 and moving forward, we are definitely in a new chapter, and it's very exciting. I'm here for it. I can't wait. I really like that Gary, after not paying attention super hardcore for a few months, seeing that he's still, I guess, bullish on TikTok, and a lot of the people he was talking to, he was asking them, are you on TikTok? Do you love it? And a lot of them weren't even on it. When I opened a TikTok in January, I believe, I instantly was like, whoa, this is so much cooler than Instagram is. The content you can make is so much faster. It's better. It's more fun. Just overall aesthetically was way more gorgeous, and just the reach was bananas. Not every time, but it was so much better than what Instagram provided. I was curious that he was still really harping that TikTok is the place to be, and all these professionals still weren't listening to him. That was interesting. And then after watching this 2-hour video, I watched another video that he had, which was about Twitch and about how companies shouldn't give up on Twitch or pass on Twitch. Can't remember exactly. The video is called Don't Sleep on Twitch, How Twitch is Helping Businesses Build Strong Communities. I don't know if Twitch is going to be right for everybody. It's definitely right for bands. About a year ago, I saw bands on Twitch doing their practice. They had a Twitch camera set up, and they're doing their live practice in their practice space with a live Twitch, getting tips. So they're making, even if they made $50 just practicing and responding to some comments or not, or whatever they were doing, making $50 just to practice is huge, because that can pay for the practice space. That can actually be income to start building merch. And when I saw that, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. It was so clearly that it was beyond video games, live streaming and chatting, that, I just instantly love the idea of Twitch. And I have a lot of examples in my head, but I'm not going to go into it. I don't have the full confidence yet to just go live. And although I feel like I'll build myself up to being entertaining on Twitch, possibly, I don't know, it's not on my main plate right now. I think the future of social media is monetizing your social media, not giving content away for free necessarily, using platforms that have a revenue stream element to them. So, for example, YouTube has Google AdSense. They have ads. They can pay you if you are just popular on YouTube alone. You don't have to have anything else to sell. You can just make videos. TikTok has the tip platform. I haven't really tried it. I know they don't call it dollars. They call it something else. It's kind of like a cryptocurrency thing, but it's actual money. So TikTok does have that tipping element, and the Twitch has the tipping element. Medium.com, for people that don't want to do video, you get a percentage of all the subscriptions when people read your article. That's money for sharing your thoughts. Oh, podcasting, just in general. Podcasting income obviously can go from zero to hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's just, the possibilities are endless. And one of the people, I think in that 2-hour talk that Gary Vee had, I think it was the Shark Tank guy. He says he used to tell everyone to be an engineer. Like, if you want to go to school for engineering. And now he's shifted because he's spending millions and millions of dollars on storytelling. So people that know how to use cameras, people that know how to edit, people that know how to tell a story, writers. I think 2021 is going to be the year of the creative. I think we're going to take over. I think life is going to be way more amazing than we could have ever imagined. You know, if everything lines up as I imagine that it might. And I don't feel like it's a crazy possibility, but I feel like things are changing fast, and what people spend money on is going to be a lot of art, and the robots may take over, but robots can't really paint pictures or write poems or write songs. They can technically, but it's not the way humans can. So I feel like there's going to be plenty of money to make, and the ideas of how to make it are going to be endless. You know, I just feel really great about the future. I feel like companies are going to start waking up to the fact that people know that they're making money off our data, and we want to cut if we're going to use their platforms, and or just making their platforms monetizable very easily. I guess I just wanted to say thanks to Gary Vee for a great show concept. I love the 2 hours with every 10 minutes being a new interview, with having one topic that made it easy. And I loved it. I learned a lot. I definitely watched that video because I had been off the Gary Vee attention stream. For whatever reason, it wasn't really popping up on my YouTube very much. It wasn't popping up on my LinkedIn, which I just check occasionally, but my attention had gone into other places, and the algorithms were not feeding me Gary Vee content. And that text looped me in and brought me back around, and I spent 3 hours listening to Gary Vee videos today. So I think that is an interesting story, and I think valuable. I love the text thing. It's a little bit weird to give out your phone number. I feel like phone numbers are going to kind of fall to the wayside, and we're going to have kind of like a spam phone number, like with a Google phone number, and then you'll have a real phone number that you actually want people to call you on, friends and stuff. The phone number is going to be a huge element to keeping your true fans connected. Anyways, I guess that's the show for today, and I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.